Hey guys, how you doing? Hope you're well. This is Kian Gozari from Sourcing with Kian. I just concluded the Amazon FBA course with Founder and with Melissa. We put together an awesome course for you guys that will be available in the description down below. But I just wanted to jump on and make a quick video for you guys to discuss the freight situation in China right now. You might have seen on the news how volatile the situation is right now. So I just wanted to make a very quick video and explain the situation. How did we get here? What happened? And then some actionable tips so you can get the best prices for your freight moving out of China. Let's go. So, how did we get here? You might have seen in the news that your container prices from China to the US used to be about maybe $2,500 last year. Then you see it go up to $5,000, $8,000, $12,000, $15,000, $20,000. The prices just kept going up and up and up. And we're like, what is going on? When's this going to go down? How did we get here? How this happened? And basically, the pandemic turbocharged a lot of demand for goods from Chinese factories. So we all started buying home office, home gym, all these types of home gardening products. And then the factories in China got very, very busy. And then as these shipments are going to the US and to the UK and to Europe and all over the world, well, there were cases in warehouses, there were cases in the ports. And whenever there was a positive case, the warehouse had to shut down, the port had to shut down. So now you see all these containers coming into the US, but they weren't being able to be unloaded. The truckers couldn't go to work. So now we start to get this backlog, and then they start piling up at the port. The problem with that is when they pile up at the port in the US, they're now out of circulation. So the empty containers are no longer going back to China, but the demand is still increasing. So there's all these goods being made, all these goods getting sent to the port, but there's no empty containers to ship them back around the world. So as a result, when the demand far exceeds the supply, the prices go up. But I can tell you there is a silver lining, and we have now finally started to see in November and December that prices are going to be coming down, and they have started to come down about maybe 10 to 15% over the last few days. And the reason for this is that October 1st to 8th, there was a Golden Week holiday in China. So for 1 week, they weren't sending any goods to the port, and that allowed some more empty containers to go back to China, which brought down the price a little bit. And further to that as well, there's the power outage situation in China, which I'm not sure if you've heard much on the news about, but essentially China's coal production is causing a lot of pollution, and as a result, they've had to cut off their electricity supply. Therefore, the output of a lot of Chinese factories is now far reduced, maybe at around 40%. So, there's now a lot less supply going to the ports, which allows more empty containers to come back to allow the supply to then increase and kind of almost meet up with the demand again, so allowing the price to drop slightly. However, one thing we should note is 1st of February 2022 is Chinese New Year. So we're going to see another 3 weeks where you're not going to get your shipments out. So you should definitely plan to move your shipments before the end of 2021 if you want to guarantee delivery for Q1 in 2022. Hey guys, I hope you're getting value from this video. If you are liking the content so far, please remember to hit the like button down below and also click subscribe and tap the bell, ding ding, so you can stay up to date on the latest of what's happening with Founder. And as I said, we just wrapped up an Amazon FBA course, so if you are interested in that, the link will be down in the description below, and I look forward to seeing you there. Thanks, and let's get back to the freight video. So now we've covered the situation, I want to give you some top tips on how to get the best price for your shipments. And probably the first thing to be mindful of is when is the best time to ask for that price. Because bear in mind that freight forwarders are getting all these inquiries for quotes all the time. They're constantly giving you quotations for shipments. But with the situation being so volatile, the price that they can give is not accurate until about maybe 5 days or 1 week before your shipment goes out. So if you're asking for a price maybe 2 weeks before or 1 month before your freight leaves, a lot can change in that time. So it's best just to ask for the price about 1 week before your goods will be ready. I would also advise that you ask multiple freight forwarders. You might have one freight forwarder that you've worked with for a very long time and everything's gone smooth and you're just happy with them and you know everyone in the team, and that's great. The freight forwarders are giving their prices based on capacity, how much volume that they have to sell. So if a freight forwarder has purchased 150 containers from Shanghai to LA port, they can price that accordingly. But if another freight forwarder has 1,000 containers from Shanghai to LA port, they can give you a much better price. So right now the game is all about who's got the most capacity, and you can only really find that out by asking multiple freight forwarders for quotations. And for me personally, I like to work with international freight forwarders, some who have got an office in the US, UK, but sometimes I also like to ask my supplier for a quote from their freight department as well, because these suppliers will also have freight forwarders that they work with, which are Chinese freight forwarders, and sometimes they're actually able to get you a better price as well. So definitely ask multiple freight forwarders and ask at the right time in order to get the best price. Another way to get a great freight forwarding price is to utilize your manufacturer's warehouse. So for example, if you've placed an order for 10,000 units, but the shipping cost is so high, but that 10,000 units is maybe 6 months stock or 1 year stock, well, you don't need to ship everything right now. And a lot of your manufacturers have got a warehouse that you can utilize. So you could actually say, well, actually for the next 4 months, I only need like 3,000 units. So let me just ship that and let me keep 7,000 units in my supplier's warehouse. And they're happy most of the times to store that for you free of charge. So definitely get quotes on shipping what you need rather than your full order volume. And you'll really benefit from that if you have a great relationship with your supplier. The other thing, it's also important to understand the key shipping terms, such as LCL, which is lower container load, and FCL, which is full container load. And in a full container load, we have 3 different container sizes. You've got your 20-foot container, your 40-foot container, and your 40-foot high cube container. Now, you want to be optimizing, you want to be shipping full containers. However, with capacity being the main issue right now, I found I'm able to get very good prices from my freight forwarders when I do LCL shipments, which is, okay, if in a 20-foot container, it takes around 27 cubic meters. If you only need 5 cubic meters, that's considered a LCL shipment. But I have many freight forwarders that are saying, okay, I've got 5 CBM from Shenzhen to LA, I've got 8 CBM from Shanghai to Houston. So if you can break down your shipments into smaller shipments, you can sort of fit in the empty spaces and empty containers of your freight forwarders. But definitely develop a relationship with your freight forwarders and just let them know everything you have coming up, all the little small pieces that you have from different factories, and they'll be able to slot you in, and as a result give you a much better price because you're filling up the blanks which were empty in their containers anyway. Now, probably my favorite way to bring down the shipping cost, and this has actually saved me quite a lot, is ask your supplier to absorb half of the freight increase cost with you. So as I said before, working in partnership, building relationships with your suppliers is so important. And the better relationship you have, the more money they will contribute towards the freight increase. So for example, let's say last year the freight rate was $5,000 a container. Now this year it's $25,000 a container. So the increase has been $20,000. Now I would say to my supplier, and your suppliers know fine well the freight situation and how much the cost has gone up. So I would say, hey, the freight cost has increased $20,000 per container. The freight rate makes there very little margin in these products for me. It's no longer profitable to ship these products, so I'm going to have to put this production on hold. However, if you can contribute half the freight cost, if you can contribute $10,000, well, now you're saving $10,000 per shipment and you're massively increasing your profitability at the current rate. And here's why it's a win-win, because if you stop ordering from that supplier, you're not shipping those goods, you're not making any sales. And if you're not making any sales, your supplier's not getting any orders. So you want to frame this in a way of, if you contribute half the shipping increased cost, I will continue to order this product, then I'll continue to sell this product, therefore you will continue to get more orders. But if you can't contribute to the shipping cost, then we have to stop this item. And then now they're thinking, okay, well, we don't have any orders anymore, so they want to contribute. Now, you might not get the full 50%, but they might contribute $5,000 or $3,000 or $8,000, but it's definitely better than nothing. So definitely utilize that with your supplier and get them to contribute. The other thing you should be mindful of is that the longer you've been working with that supplier, the more leverage you have. If this is your first order with this supplier, it's very unlikely they're going to contribute. But maybe if it's your 5th or your 6th order and your orders have been increasing, they're like, okay, this is a customer I want to keep happy, this is a customer I'm going to work with for the long term, then they're much more likely to extend you a discount on your freight rates as well. Another point which will really help you out in the freight situation is to really understand the key shipping terms. And I do have a chart which I'll place on this screen up above. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video to summarize the freight situation. How did we get here? What's been happening? How to get the best price? One final thing I should add is just a reminder that Chinese New Year is February 1st, 2022. So make sure that you send your suppliers a Happy New Year, whether it be an e-card or if you want to add a gift or something like that. And definitely plan your shipments around that time. Make sure you ship out before December 2021. Or plan for your shipments, book in that space right now with your freight forwarders and also with your suppliers, that production slot for next year as well. It definitely helps when you give a forecast order as well. They might not be able to give you a certain commitment, but if they know your schedule, they can help plan around it for you guys as well. And as I mentioned, I am involved in the Amazon FBA course. The link will be down in that below. If you want to learn more about sourcing for myself, I'll be there. And also Melissa will be helping you with everything Amazon FBA. So thanks very much, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.
Hey guys, hope you're loving our videos and that you're getting heaps of value from them. If you are, make sure to hit the like button and make sure to subscribe to join the Founder Fam. If you did enjoy this video and want to continue to master your skills, make sure you click here to access your free training now, where we'll go into way more depth with this founder.